How's it going, garden people? Today we're going to tackle the trash can area, and this is a project that I've been trying to get to for a while, so I'm super happy that I finally got this accomplished. Alright, so first things first, gather the plants, because we all know that those are the stars. Since it's fall, planting takes priority while I wait for the shed that I ordered to come in. First, I built up the area with a garden mix of compost and loam in preparation to get these plants into the ground. First up is this oak leaf hydrangea, which I had actually planted at the beginning of spring. Though since developing this project, I decided that the best placement for this would be where we're going to plant it today. And I had pulled it up, and so it's looking a little bit rough at this point, especially where we're going into fall, so don't look too closely at it. But please consider subscribing so that in the spring you can see just how beautiful this plant really is going to turn out to be. I took my measurements and spaced the plants based, of course, the fence isn't moving, so from the fence is a definite, but from the bricks themselves, I knew that the chances of the bricks moving probably back a little bit was probably good since I hadn't had the shed come in yet. So I made sure that I had enough space from where the bricks are now, because if they move back, then that would have just given me a little bit extra space behind it, which is perfect. A little bit of biotone starter fertilizer into the hole, and in these plants went. And generally I usually use biotone starter just as a general, but I don't use a lot. I'll use, a small handful or two, just enough to try to kind of feed the roots so that the roots kind of take and get a good nice grip in before the winter comes. What I'm trying to do here is just kind of try and take off a lot of the scraggly growth that's on top of this plant. And yes, I'm being a little bit rough because I was just not about to go back up and find my clippers. I had had enough at this point this day. So yes, I'm being a little mean to this plant, but it will be just fine. I added more compost loam mix as I went along, and I'll be adding more once I get the shed in, and I need to add where it's needed. And since I was here and since it's fall, the best thing I decided to do was to add some bulbs while we're here because of course. I'm adding in some bulb tones so that these daffodils have a nice start come the spring. And while it looks like I'm planting them a bit shallow at this point, again, I'll be adding some more dirt so they'll be planted at the proper depth once once everything's said and done. It was so windy on this day, and I'm still looking into microphone options, but for now, voiceovers work real well for me. Alright, all planted up. I ended up dividing the silver mound artemisia, one of the plants, so that I had 4 plants going. And I got everything into the ground, and I'm just super excited to have this part of the project done. And the next part will be getting in the shed and putting it together. And here we are with the shed almost complete. I didn't film this whole process because it was a chore and took about a week, mainly because I took my time with it. But it was so worth it to get all of these plants in, the shed completed. It looks so much better than what it was looking like before, and I am just so pleased with it. The fall color on this oak leaf hydrangea is amazing. And I can't wait until next spring just to see how all these plants look and how things fill in. I'm super excited about it. Alright, so this shed build is done, this new garden space is created, and I'm really pleased with how things have turned out. It's a fairly inexpensive shed from a big box store. I left a little room behind for some spacing. The base underneath is some pavers and some rocks on top of landscape fabric, and by no means is anything really, nicely level and professionally done. But something that Janie from Dig Plant Water Repeat has said before, and that's really stuck with me, is progress, not perfection. So I really want to thank her for saying that, because that's really given me the freedom this year to just kind of just get things done. And I hope it inspires you as well to just, get a project going and get it done and get it completed. And I am so happy that this one is completed. It looks way better than those ugly green cans, and I'm just so pleased with it. So I hope that this inspires you on your gardening journey, whatever that looks like for you. And thank you for coming along on mine.